Sejam todos bem-vindos, eu sou Luciano Rodrigues e você está no Fera vs Fera, dentro do Cadillac Rodeo, o canal do Cowboy Mundial. E continuando o nosso tributo a Lane Frost, eu trago um vídeo para vocês de Lane Frost em ação dentro da National Finals Rodeo, a NFR. O ano de 1984, 85, 86, 87, onde ele foi campeão mundial, e 88, algumas grandes montarias dessa grande lenda da montarias em touros. E no final vai ter uma entrevista onde ele foi campeão. Vocês curtiram aí um pouquinho desse grande cowboy que fez história e depois de 35 anos ainda é lembrado. Eu gostaria de mandar um forte abraço ao Juninho Brustolin, que ontem fez um post em seu Instagram convidando as pessoas a assistir o vídeo que a gente fez em tributo a Lane Frost, contando sobre o desafio dos campeões, o Challenge of the Champions. Você pode conferir esse vídeo, eu vou deixar linkado aqui no card e também vou deixar as redes sociais do Juninho Brustolin, ele que é o desenhista das celebridades, um grande profissional da área do desenho, filho do grande tropeiro Edson Brustolin. Um forte abraço, seu Edson, e muito obrigado. Então, vamos começar o vídeo, mas antes disso, deixe seu like, compartilhe esse vídeo e deixe escrito aqui nos comentários o que você quer ver aqui no Fera vs Fera. Um forte abraço, Deus abençoe a todos e bom vídeo!
That's in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. 7-3, 1, 2, 3. Here you go, Oklahoma Lane Frost. He's going to do it on the big gray whale, and he's got him handled.
Lane, that was a great bull ride. How'd he feel to you?
Oh, Larry, he's a little stouty. He's so big. He's trying to lay down the chute to get the jump at you.
82 points. What do you think about that?
I make me feel a little better, I'll tell you what, Larry. I didn't need it. I like it. Makes me pretty happy.
You think this will make a difference in the way you ride the rest of the week?
Yes, sir, I think so. It might help a little. I feel like I've been riding all right. I had a couple bad breaks right there at first. I might have been a little nervous first time hearing your thing, but I think I got it straightened out.
Looked mighty good tonight, young man. I bet your father's proud of you. He went to the first national finals, his father Clyde Frost, back in, I believe, 1959.
Great ride for that young man. Lane Frost is out next. Now Lane came here in a very tight race for the world title in second place. Right now he's showing at fourth as he's had a little bad luck here in the late rounds. He's on a bull called Combustion. That bull comes from down in Florida, from Matt Dryden's string.
This young man's a tough hand. Take a look at that right there. Pulls the tail of the rope down through the little finger. If you ride left-handed, buck off on the right side, there's an extremely good chance you're going to hang up.
Aha, he's going for the downs, isn't he?
Well, that'll help keep that rope from getting jerked out of his hand. Low bull turns back. All right, looking good. Started weak. The ride has progressed. More and more power is being thrown at the cowboy. Looks like he might have stepped on his old leg.
Well, Lane Frost, about the 5th or 6th round, following a good bull ride, really did get slam dunked down. And I think he's sore too. You can't get on these kind of bulls 9 days in a row and not be sore. 75 comes up for the Lane Frost ride. A score of 75.
This young man has a lot of talent. Again, body control using the free arm.
Even if Noose would buck off to take the lead of the average away from him. Now, if that sounds confusing, it's because they have not ridden all of their bulls, and we have to go to the largest number of bulls ridden and the best score on those bulls that they have ridden. So that's the position Noose is in. Hedeman not only has to ride, but he has to score big. And if Noose wins the average and the $17,000, he may take the championship away from Hedeman. It's too close to call it, definitely, but it's going to be a terrible threat to him.
Well, that means you're playing hardball when you get down to the last play of the last day, and the World Championship revolves around that last 8 seconds. Believe me, these guys have worked hard all year, going to 100 rodeos all over the U.S. and Canada, qualify for the national finals, all wanting to win the World Championship. Here he is. Let's see if he can make the whistle. Lane Frost looking good, tapped off good. Bull might stay in the spin to the left lane with the foot, moving the free arm. He's going to keep him balanced.
Well, I'll tell you, we've had Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, Liberace, and everybody in the world in Las Vegas, Nevada. They will never get a greater applause than this man has in Las Vegas. They love him. They wanted that ride, and so did he.
Great body moves. You can see all parts of the body working here. The inside foot has to stay down inside the spin. Outside foot moves it a couple of times just to help keep him in the right body position right there. Using that free arm. Look at him move the free arm. 85 points for Lane Frost. Of course, the leader today because he's the only man to ride a bull.
Okay, now we have to look to his average positioning. So
What can I say?
Dillinger's back on the scene. We'll see what he's like.
I think they can see why they named this cat Dillinger. Lane was stepped on the right hip right here. We may need a little bit of help. Not a solid step, but those bulls are big and heavy.
Now we can see Don Andrews, the Justin Healer, immediately on the scene to see to the attention of this young man. He did come down sharp. From our vantage point here and on the screen, it appeared that he came down right on his neck and shoulders, but as Johnny Macbeth gave you the call from the arena floor, he said the bull stepped on that right hip.
If there is any consolation at a time such as this, the score may be some help to him. 78 makes him split the winning honor so far with Charlie Sampson.
Yes, we're watching the instant replay right now, John, and we're going to watch him come down from this bull and hope the viewers can pick up the point where the bull stepped on him. He did come down very, very hard. There's the momentum right there. He's coming down over the left shoulder, upside down. There we see it, exactly what you were talking about, John. It was very, very clear on the instant replay.
Lane is conscious right now, but definitely in pain. They're talking with him. He can converse with them to help the Justin Healer determine the extent of the injury. I think they're going to try to help him get up right now. This is all part of the seasoning of a pro cowboy. These things hurt. It takes a great deal of intestinal fortitude to get up, condition your mind though your body hurts something terrible, and come back and do it again. That's what makes a champion.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And again, we see a standing ovation starting to develop here by the audience as this young man gets up and walks out into his own power. He's trying to shake it off.
It's hard to say anybody, there's bulls here that can throw anybody off. But if you draw right and the way Lane's riding, I think he's going to get by all 10 of them.
Well, you and Brian the Greek seem to agree. He says Lane is riding as good as he's ever seen. He's always ridden good. Very talented young man. But if I may quote Brian McDonald, he said it's 9-5 in favor of the bulls for the odds on that one. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what you have just seen and are about to see again could be a deciding factor of everything in the bull riding.
It just kind of gets Lane back on the end of his arm and gets
That's
him.
it.
I'm going to predict now, Bobby, I'm going to predict that nobody is going to ride 10 bulls.
Well, it's not over yet.
Or jumps being completely knocked out.
This is Lane Frost of Oklahoma, gold buckle of the Brownie Rodeo Company. Here's another extremely tough bull, and Lane is going to handle it.
He just doesn't back off. Teddy made a great bull ride. Teddy Newstead, they're 1-2 in the standings. And,
that old bull kicked at him.
Lane's not cutting him any slack, I'll tell you that. This is going to be a great race to the end.
Look at that smiling man. He is happy, isn't he? Boy, Lane, you deserve a smile like that, my friend.
What an incredible race this is going to be, Randy. Lane has won 17,000 up to this point. 84.
Lane Frost, Quanta, Texas, has the Rocker Bull LE. Talk about sentimental favorites. This young man could be one of them as well.
Oh, look at here. Now, he rode 9 out of 10 last year. All right.
Listen to this crowd, Bob. They're loving it. I told you he's a sentimental favorite here.
It's a great bull. The bull went a few jumps before he really turned back and got the spinning real hard, but I think he's going to have a good score. And again, you got to remember that Lane came into second place here, rode 9 out of 10 last year. He thinks he can win it. All right, let's watch the bull.
He's long overdue for a world championship. a few years ago, the high school champion, and I talked to him a little bit earlier. He said he knew this bull was going to spin, and if he could get tapped off and ride him for 8 seconds, he could ride him all day.
Well, he did it, too. That Cotton Rosser bull is actually traveling down the arena while he's spinning, too.
82. And now that puts some pressure on Ted Noose.
Ooh, and the crowd doesn't like that 82.
Well, again, I think the bull made a few jumps before he turned back and really went to bucking his best, but...
Look who's leaning over the chute. The bull's over. Gary Green. Anywhere you need a little help, you find that guy. He'll be glad to help you out.
Well, he, between Lane Frost and Tough Hedeman, he's there to pull their rope for him. Either end of the arena, flying first. Born to be a champion. This is undoubtedly one of the favorites of all of our fans here in Las Vegas. One of the most personable young men, second-generation champion.
Well, you know, I think many of us have probably been guilty of leaving this guy out when we talk about consistency. I was talking to Cody Lambert earlier this fall about the consistency of Tough Hedeman. He said, did you ever look at the record of Lane Frost? See how many bulls he bucks off of? Not all that many.
It's not the way he rides them, it's the way he gets off. That's the only thing that'll ever keep this kid from being a world champion. He doesn't know that those boots were meant to land on. He's used the top of his head all the time.
Now, Lane came here in a tight battle with his traveling partner, Ted Noose, for the championship of the world. Lane is still showing in the lead, but I think technically we have about the same situation that we had earlier in the bareback riding.
He's locking himself in there.
Yes, did you see that rope go between the little finger and the finger next to it?
He put a twist right at the front of it across the hand as well. That is a death lock. This bull's got some jump, and that'll pull a rope out of your hand. He did not want him to get away. He drew a high loper in the 9th round, but he is on him when the whistle blows.
Did you see him? And I hope we have a chance to see that again, especially at the end of the ride. When he reached down with that free hand, he's still not gotten loose. But he did pull that rope out of there. You will notice that he also reached down, swung it way over to the left, jerked hard, then jerked up on it. That was to pull it out from between those fingers where he had it locked in. Oh, man, he says this has been a long week.
He's got to be tired. He's got to be tired. And to ride a bull a full lap around this pen.
The bull came out backwards. That can destroy his game plan. Lane's going to have to hustle. It's going to take a lot of hustle. He has just enough. Wow. He may have slapped that bull. I'm not sure. He may have slapped that bull.
You heard him talking to him about keeping his feet back so that he could stay up in there with him.
Well, let's watch it close. He has slapped the bull. He has touched the bull. It'll be no score for Lane Frost. We'll be back for rodeo action after this word. The bull comes out backwards. The bull came out.
Dave Appleton a while ago. I said, you know, you got to be real sad not having a buckle. We'll talk to him here in just a second. Watch close as Lane Frost would ride for us. Our reigning champion of the world comes down.
Now, Lane Frost trying to make this ride on Red Rocker Skoll of the Mesquite firm, and it was a very important ride for Lane Frost.
That bull is so big and so strong, he just outwhipped him. That's all there was to it.
Speaking of that, I'd like to thank Steve Fleming and his entire staff in the press room for providing the vital information that we need so dearly. Steve, thank you. Well, this is Lane Frost. Lane has drawn a bull that maybe doesn't have as many flowers hanging on his horns as some of these we've talked about, but I talked to some of the bull riders earlier, and I talked to Wacy Cathy's wife. She told me that this bull Ott that belongs to Ivy has never been ridden. The bull had been in open rodeo competition before he came up to the pro ranks. They didn't ride him back there. They haven't ridden him here. So I don't think that Frost is drawing the best one here.
Watch this yellow whale jump, then hop, skip, turn back to the right, into him. Lane Frost going to ride him.
He's going to get him.
Here's the changeup. He's not going to quit. Lane Frost is going to come from right. Look out, look out.
Boy, he really came down right on top of Lane, but he's up and all right.
It's a two-man race. He knows what he's done.
Oh,
It's a two-man race. He was not in the post position coming in, Randy, but you've got him up front now.
Oh, he is, too, and happy about it. He thinks he's got it. We're going to have to wait to see for sure.
Well, of course, we have the computer with smoke boiling out of every corner of it right now as the sheets go through. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at the score. It's 83. Don't you dare go away, because we'll be back in crown our brand new bull riding champion. First of all, let's look at the go-round win. Tough Hedeman wins it. Lane Frost is in second place. Cody Snyder and Beaver Jernigan get some of it. Let's hear a word from our sponsors, friends, and we'll be right back. And now, what do you say we go to Pam and our bull riding champion?
Congratulations to Lane Frost, the world champion bull rider. This title has eluded you for quite a few years, Lane.
Pam, I hadn't really set my mind on winning it until this year, and I've had my mind on it all year long. I come to the finals just a little bit behind. I got in the lead during the middle, and then things started going against me, and things wasn't working so good, and finally I just got it turned around here at the end. Feels great. Waited a long time for it.
And we're very proud of you. Lane Frost, the 1987 world champion bull rider.